Welcome back to another video. Today we're doing another exciting, fun little project for the drifting simulator setup I got here. We're actually going to mount this seat to a wooden platform thing we build in here. So I'm going to be sitting probably 12 inches off the ground, and then 44 inches away will be my pedals. And so I'll show you where I got those measurements in just a second, but basically we're going to be building a wooden platform that we can sit on, so we don't have this strapped to the desk. We have it strapped to its own platform. That way we don't get all of this movement and contortion and whatnot on the desk itself. It'll feel a bit more legit and not like I'm sitting in a minivan, because this setup here is basically like sitting in a minivan. So I will go to the garage, I'll grab some wood, and we'll get to it. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Okay, so first things first, I'll show you where I'm going to get the measurements for the seat's length, height, everything along those lines, so it's the most realistic it can feel for me. So basically I have this 240SX coupe here and the Soar over there. Obviously it's very blurry. There we go. Make it a little prettier, just because it does look crazy in this weird snowy winter wonderland. Anyways, so in the 240, the seat is out because that bride seat is stole from in here. So we'll just open it up so we can see in here right now. There we go, we're all situated. Anyways, the pedals are right there. So from the pedals to the point where the seat bolts up, which is right here, this front bar, that there to there is roughly 33 inches. And then to the back bar, right here where the back of the seat bolts up, this one here, is 42 inches. So I'm going to come to 44 inches total for the two long bars that go on the bottom. Okay, so I grabbed a tape measure so this makes a little bit more sense. I'll show you here with the tape out. So from the pedals all the way to this point here, we just need to focus it. Maybe we can't focus it. There we go. You can see that a bit better. So we're at 22 inches to the first side, and then all the way back is 44. And then side to side, we need to cut two pieces of wood. I know you guys can't see this. Just bear with me. We're going to do 20 inches across. So now we know all the measurements we need. Let's get the wood. Okay, this is the wood we're going to be using. It's just spare wood left over from my deck that I built. It's two 2x4s and then two smaller chunks of 2x10s. So I'm going to be using the 2x10s for the wheel and the pedals, and this is what I'm going to build the frame out of. I know I'm building out of wood, it's kind of ghetto, but this is a starter setup and not a lot of people have a welder. So I will be building one out of metal in the future. I just kind of like the idea of a quick, simple one that takes, roughly half an hour to build. So let's get cutting. Okay, so I've cut quite a few pieces here. I have 4 pieces at 9 inches tall. That's one there, and the 2 there. And so that's what's going to hold the seat up. And then these are going to cap them. So they just basically go over top like this. I'll just set one like that. So there we are. Then we have 2 long pieces, one there and one there. That's the base of the structure, and those are 44 inches long. And then we have this at 22, and then these at 9 inches. So this part here is what my pedals are going to sit on. I had it angled, but my pedals are these ones here. They're the TP3A or whatever they're called. But I found that they're better when they're situated flat instead of like this. Because when they're situated like that, it's less like a real pedal. So I'm going to leave them with the flat pedal style. So we're just going to mount that like that. So what I'll do is I'll build all this section together, and I'll mount the seat and the pedals, and then we'll take a look at where we're at. So basically, once I have all that done, then we can design the part where there's going to be like an arch like this, and that's what's going to have the wheel sit on it. So we'll put all this together and then start working on the second part to see where that's going to situate based on my hands with the wheel and everything. Okay, well, we are freezing, so we're going to take all the wood inside and build it in the basement. That way we have more light, my hands aren't going to fall off while I'm screwing, and the camera's actually acting really slow because of how cold it is. So we're gonna head on inside and I'll see you guys on the inside. Well, I gotta let you guys cool down. You're all foggy now from the cold to the hot, so see you in a couple minutes. Okay, so mounting the seat is completely up to your seat's bolt holes. So what you'll need to do in this case, and like this is all like I'm making this up as we go, but my bolt holes on my seat are on the bottom and at the top. Probably can't really see that. There we go. So bottom and top. So what I'm gonna do is measure from that to that, and that's where my next two pieces are gonna go, there and there. So I'll just measure out, once again, drill them in, put the top on, and then we can drill our holes in there that our bolts are going to go through. I'm just going to use a 1/2 inch. I don't even know what these things are called, but they're like a drill bit style thing. I'm just going to use a 1/2 inch one, go right through, and then my bolt won't pull through. Okay, we got the base built for the seat. All we gotta do now is drill the holes, but I want to figure out the seating position and the pedal position first. So obviously that's too far away for me, like I'd feel ridiculous. Let's put the seat up a bit more. So this is where I can adjust these pieces of wood here, bring them back to where I want it, and then we can just screw them into place. There we go. That's almost perfect. The pedals almost do feel too low, like they might feel better a little bit higher up. Yeah, maybe just a bit higher up. So what I can do is add another 2 2x4s. That would bring it up about yay high. Another 1.5 inches higher. And that would be about here, which would almost be perfect. So I'll go cut 2 more and we'll readjust again. So I made each one of these just 1 2x4 higher, so that's another 1.5 inches higher than it was, and it feels like pretty much perfect now. And then, yeah, so like that feels, like that even looks a lot more natural too. So I think that's where I'm gonna leave it. If I need to adjust it any higher, what I'll do is just add another one. It'll only take a couple minutes. So what I'm gonna do now is bolt all this, or screw all this together, and then on the back side of these, there's actually 3 holes where a bolt can go through. So what I'll do is I'll drill 3 holes in this. Actually, I can get away with probably just 2. And then once I have those through, then I can bolt that down, bolt the chair down, and then we can start working on where we want the wheel. And so with the wheel, we're just gonna build like a little square, almost like a, I don't know what you call it, like a halo or something that it can sit on, and so you're snug into it. Now I gotta figure out how I want to build that, because I can't be locked in, so I almost have to build it further out so I can just slip in here. So I'll probably build it off this and come this way and then over. We'll just play around with wood until we can kind of get it sorted out, but I'll do some measurements and show you what I come up with. Okay, so here's the fun, complicated part. I cut a piece of wood down to 40 inches long, and then I angled both of the ends, one protruding this way at 30 degrees and the other way, so it has a flat top on it. What I'm going to do is put it right along the edge like that, so I can anchor a couple screws in, and then we sit here and we have a flat board that goes across and over top of this, and that board is where the wheel's going to go. But so if we put it far enough forward, then we have the wheel there, and we have enough space to get in and out of here. So I'm going to cut one more to this size, screw them in, put the top plate on, and test it out. So this is what we're looking like right now. It's looking sweet. I've mocked up how the 2 angle pieces are sitting. I really should have cut the bottoms at a 45, not a 35. Keep that in mind. So I'll re-buzz those off. And then also I measured this to be 22, which is the width of the original one, but we've added 1.5 inches on each side, so I need to cut that a bit bigger. But we're going to take a seat in it now and see how it feels, and then yeah, maybe we'll start bolting everything down and go to... I'm stoked. It's finished. Everything but the shifter. So what I gotta do is build like a little plate here I can put the shifter on. I might just mount it to this for now, but pedals, once they're mounted in, they'll be in a good position. The wheel's in a great position. Seat's in an awesome position. You can lean back, move forward, and everything's super sturdy. So I'll show you things I changed from the last clip, but essentially all it was this was at 40, now it's at 37 in length. Once again, 30-degree angles on both sides, and then this is at 3 feet wide, this top section, and that's it. Some scrap wood in the backyard, and now you have yourself a ghetto simulation rig for free instead of $500, $600, which is awesome. And this ain't going anywhere. Okay, so I flipped the apparatus on its back and I decided to mount up the 3 holes that are here. So I just found some bolts that fit in the back of the mounting bracket on the pedals itself, and then basically drilled a 1/2 inch hole, I believe it was. What size was it? 3/4 inch hole with a step bit, and then just a regular size, I think it was a 1/4 inch drill bit all the way through, so I could sink the bolts in. I just didn't have long enough bolts. And now this is on there pretty sturdy. So I'll flip it on the other way and show you guys how I did that. But basically the measurements I made, I just measured into center on both sides, which is 5 inches for me on this board. And then I measured where the holes were on the actual hardware itself, with the pedals itself, and then just started where I wanted it at 5 inches here. Started one at 2, and then 6 1/4, and then 11, or 6 3/4, and then 11 1/4 is what they ended up being. And so there's what it's like on the other side with it flipped up. It's not going anywhere. It's solid, so if you were to want to move the pedals back and forth, you'd have to unbolt these. What I'd rather do is put a slider on the chair and move it here, but I'm just gonna fix it because primarily I'm the only person using it and most people can fit in and at least drive. It's not a real car anyway. So next part we're gonna do is drill the 4 holes where the seat mounts up. Obviously take my bolts, thanks to Clark for his junkyard bolt bin. So I'm gonna borrow some of those, steal them, never give them back. He gave them to me. Merry Christmas, everyone. It's Christmas Day today. So yeah, put the bolts in here, bolt the seat in, and then the only thing we have left to do is take it upstairs and test it out. Well, and sorry, one more thing. That is the shifter. And what I'm actually gonna do with that is I completely forgot about it. If you're sitting in the chair, it feels perfect for it to have it right here. So all I'm gonna do is put a piece of wood, probably jutting out like this. Not as ghetto, obviously. Have another 2x4 coming down so it's got some structure, and then mount the shifter. It's very, very straightforward. So, but yeah, it's mount the seat, mount the shifter, take it upstairs and test it out. I got it done. It's finally upstairs in its resting position. So basically I'm gonna be able to move it from there to there so I can use my computer still. But check it out, it's a perfect fit. It's almost flush with the desk where I had the one before. And then the seating position, the way I measured it, like I said, was off that seat, because that's the seat I was sitting in before. So I just measured the height of that, and it's the same. So we have a perfect position, perfect pedals that have lined up with my 240SX, and same with the position of the chair with the wheel. That's roughly where the 240SX sits. And I've also done the addition of putting on a lovely shifter. Perfect height. I wish it was a little bit more forward, but for the time being it'll work really good. So there we go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace.